So I just got back from Minneapolis, and I have to say it was good and bad. Bad because, well, I won 5 at the PT, which kind of blew. Well, I'll figure it out. Anyway, so yes, good and bad. So I won 5 at the PT, which was... can I move everything? I think I'm gonna move back. Of course, everything is moving back. Which kind of sucked. And I wish I'd done better, but that didn't happen. No, that was not my deck. That was the deck I played in the showdown. So let me give you a little recap of what happened, of the events of last week. So I prepared everything. Everything was ready to go. I had my Esta. I had my ticket. I had not slept the day before, so I was ready. I was ready to go, and I went. I had prepared pretty heavily in limited, fresh off the $2,000 from the arena open. I played quite a lot of standard, even though I didn't like the decks I found, but I relied on the team to find something that I could play. So I got there. It was on Tuesday, so we had like 1 day and a half to finish the standard testing and acclimate and get familiar with the time, the jet lag. And we arrived. We had a huge Airbnb. Managed to fit 2 runs. In the meantime, we drafted there, and well, nobody really had something they really liked in standard. So I ended up with this, with whatever Reed and Seth played. Let's see, do you see everything here? More or less. I can give you the list if interested. This was the... okay, let me move it. But I can, for some reason, I cannot move my face here, so I'm gonna have to settle with this. That was the deck. Reed, Seth, who else played that? A couple of other players played. Basically, the team was split into 3 decks, I think. We had Grixis, we had Esper, and we had this. That's the Rakdos we had. That was Rakdos Breach. It was supposed to go over the top with other mid-range deck, thanks to Breach and Etali. I don't know if the deck was good. I think, well, to me it was better than Grixis and Esper. So by default, that was the deck. By default, that was the deck I played, cause I don't like Grixis mana base. I didn't like Esper. I played Esper in the qualifier. I went 0-2. I hated the deck. I played it a little more on the ladder a couple times, and I hated it. So no, Esper was not an option. Grixis I didn't like. This was okay. I played a lot of decks with Chandra, Italy, and Breach during testing, and I kind of liked it. Oh no, the other deck was Grixis Reanimator. This is a deck I worked on a lot during testing that I discarded because I didn't quite like it. It wasn't good enough. So I fell down to this and fell back to this, and I was kind of satisfied, even though I was not too sure. I trusted Seth and Reed and everybody else who was playing the deck. Everybody else who was playing the deck, yes. So not 100% confident in the deck build or in the deck choice, but that was a default deck, and good players chose to play it, so I guess I kind of had to rely on it. So 2 days before, I managed to get some runs. I managed to sleep. I was ready. I was in the good conditions. However, the night before, so the day before, we have this players meeting, players registration party. Was fun. So a lot of people I hadn't seen in a very long time. So I thought that I hated people. But it was actually kind of fun to see everybody again. I don't know, it was kind of a nice feeling, something you kind of forgot. Warm hugs and stuff like that. Some things you thought were gone forever. That was nice. And we had some food there, and then we got to the hotel, and 11:30 we're kind of ready to go sleep. And I was tired, so I felt like, 11:30 you go to sleep. Wake up at 7, you have 8 hours of sleep, or 7 or 8 hours of sleep, and you're good to go. But that's without counting that my stomach did not want that to happen. So I went to bed and I was like, something wrong with my stomach, probably something I ate. And I tried to sleep, and that didn't work. My stomach was like, nope, you can't leave me like this. You're not gonna fall asleep now. So I know exactly what it was, or what I have to do for this. I am intolerant to carrots. That's something it took me a very long time to figure out what it was, but it was carrots. And what happens when I eat carrots is that I can't digest anything. Like the food gets stuck in my stomach and it stays there for hours. And if it doesn't come out one way or another, I can't do anything because I'm stuck and it hurts. And it's very uncomfortable, and you definitely cannot sleep. I don't think I ate carrots, but I had the same feeling. I couldn't digest whatever I ate during this player registration, so someone probably actively tried to poison me. So I spent maybe 45 minutes trying to get it out, but I didn't have my potion, so it was all manual, and that didn't work. And I have to thank my roommate, Jakub Toth, player from Czechia, guy who's been on the team. He top 3 at Worlds last year. And he was like, Raph, are you okay? Do you need anything from me? Like, well, unless you have baking soda, I don't think there's much you can do for me. And I was struggling. It's like, okay, let me go. Let me go try to find something for you. I don't even want to think about the manual method. Well, it involves 2 fingers. And this is the kind of stories that are good to tell. Maybe you can learn something from it. So I know exactly what I have to do. I need without baking soda, it doesn't work. So like, okay, it's 12:30, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. Like, I know this is not nice for you. You want to sleep, but like, there's nothing I can do about this. It's like, oh, no, don't worry, man. I'm gonna help you. So he leaves, and I try, and it just doesn't come out. And he comes back with actual baking soda. She went downstairs to the reception, and this guy told him, no, there's nothing you can do. Go back, just whatever. I can't help you. And this cheeky at the reception said, oh no, let me help you. Where can I find this? Like, all the stores are closed. There's nothing you can find around. Like, maybe we can find it in the kitchen. So they went to the kitchen of the restaurant, of the hotel's restaurant. They opened some cabinets and they found some baking soda. And that was the solution. And he got back up, gave me some baking soda, problem fixed in like 5 minutes. It took me a little bit more to get rid of everything, but around 2:30, I was ready to sleep. Hello, Norway Dree. That's the story of my PT experience. So eventually I fall asleep 2:30. Yeah, baking. So the lesson from this, if you ever in the same situation as I was, baking soda is the solution to all your problems. Exactly. If you need to throw up and it doesn't come out, just take some baking soda, mix it with water. Like, you don't need to put a lot, just a little bit. Drink it, wait 1 minute. One way or another, your problem is going to be solved. Either it's gonna like there's some chemical reaction in your stomach, which is either going to dissolve everything that's there, or it's gonna come out. And it's radical. It's very quick. It's kind of gross, but it's very efficient. And without this, you can't stay like this for hours. So keep that in mind. Baking soda solution to all your stomach problems, most of your stomach problems. I'm not a doctor, so if that actually poisons you for good, that won't be my fault. This is just something that works on me. But check it out. Check it out. It works. And that's the only thing that works for me. So eventually I fall asleep. And the next day I was supposed to be fresh, but I had slept for like 3 hours because at 2:30 I fell asleep. I woke up at 5:30. I was like a little not great. And I was, well, a little tired. And you know how I am when I'm tired. I don't usually give my best. But what can you do? These are the circumstances. These were the circumstances. And that's how I started the PT. So PT starts drafts first. And I have my strategy. I have my all plans. I want to avoid white. I'd rather avoid green. I'm good with red-black. I'm good with black-blue. I'm good with some other combinations. And I open, I think, Volcanic Spite, another green card. So I take Volcanic Spite. Pack 2, I'm past like a shit pack. I take the 4-1 ship vehicle. That's pretty sad. Pack 3, there's nothing. Like maybe there's a green card. I think there's the 0-2, the 3-3. Oh, the cat warrior with backup. And I think Icor Drinker. And I really want to avoid green-red because green-red is not a deck I want to play. So I take the Icor Drinker. And then I'm past pick 4, a tandem takedown. So I'm like, look, there's no red card, no black card, nothing in other colors. This, like, green is open and I've been fed green. I have to be green now. So I have Volcanic Spite Tandem Takedown. And I'm getting another Tandem Takedown, pick 5. So I go for it. I go for green. Pack 2 open Voldaren's Thrill Seeker. I think I'm getting past another Thrill Seeker. And at that point, oops, no, that's not what I want to do. Yes, that's what I want. At that point, I have 0 2-drops. I have very few 2-drops. Let's see. Sorry, I can't move my face for some reason, but you're not missing much. I have 2 Volcanic Spites here. So I have 2 Volcanic Spites, Cosmic Hunger, and I had taken a Negotiator at some point, one of them. I could have had 2, that would have made my deck so much better. And then at this point I have 2 Thrill Seekers, I have 2 takedowns, I have removals, and my creatures really suck. So pack 3 I open Blade Master. This is my first pick. First pick pack 3, because I have no 2-drop. This is what I had to fill. I had to fill this. Then I'm past Furnace Gremlins and the 2/2 Trample dude in red. I take the Gremlin hoping the other one is wheeling. Didn't wheel. So I end up with this deck with fine removals, fine spells, but my creatures are really shitty. Are really, really shitty. So this is exactly what I wanted to avoid, but I didn't. Maybe the first couple picks I've gone a little differently if I had got into green the first couple picks, but that's really something I wanted to avoid. So overall, I feel bad about this draft, but I don't know if we could have drafted anything else. So this is on the draft part. Then comes the actual games. So actual games in this draft. So I play LSV, round 1. And I win game 1 easily. I had a good draw. Game 2, I don't get any forest. I mulligan like twice, I think. Don't get. Do I mulligan? I don't even know if I mulligan. Yeah, I think I mulligan once. Only red, didn't get any green. So this is game 3. I'm on 17 life. No, he's on 17 life, and I'm on 1. If you want a puzzle, that's a good puzzle, and I'll let you think about this one for a second. Anyway, I lose this game, fortunately, but this is still a good puzzle. I lose this game, and so I'm a 0-1. I play against Kibler. Same thing. I win game 1. Game 2, a mulligan. Don't hit a second land. Game 3, mulligan twice. Don't get a third land. So I'm like 0-2 with a deck I really don't like. Things are not going my way. Match 3, I lose game 1 like a normal game, and then I mulligan once and never get land number 3. So I 0-3 my draft, something I had prepared really hard, and I'm like, man, this is tough. So at that point, I had lost 13 rounds in a row. 13 rounds in paper Magic. So the last match I had won at PT/GP level was the second round of day 2 of Brussels, of Players Tours of Brussels. I was 8-2 at that point, and then I lost 6 straight. Then COVID hit. Then I was 0-4 in Sofia and 0-3 at the PT. I was like, this is endless. I'm like in a 13 match losing streak. Like, I'm never gonna get out of it. How do I even win at Magic? This is incredible. Like, how do you lose 13 matches in a row? Well, so I play against Sodek. First round of constructed. Sodek is the Dredge Master. And I finally win my first round. Finally win. I'm 1-3. And then I lose like two mirror matches. Like, not really mirror matches, but I lose against, I think it was Grixis and Rakdos. So I'm out of the PT, 1-5. It doesn't feel like I could have done much. I feel like this deck was not exactly the best deck for that tournament, and like, our team did not do great. Reed lost for top 8, that was good, but the rest of the team did not do too well. The people who played it didn't actually perform with this. And when I played, I felt like, man, the Breach, the Breach, Italy, Big Score, these cards that don't do anything. And I'm kind of gutted, you know. I got my Jace, I got my $1,000 for showing up, I paid for my ticket, but I kind of wasted my time like testing, and this is kind of heartbreaking. And you know, like, this is tough. Having your work not paid off, it's kind of gutting. That's how it is. That's Magic, you know. I've seen worse. And the fact that I did well at the Arena Open the week before, that kind of made up for it. As in, you know, I prepped for it and I got something out of it, something I may not have got if I hadn't prepared. So I was like, okay, well, I can't. This sucks, but that's how it is. And I'm telling, dude, are you playing the PTQ tomorrow? Like, oh, there's a PTQ. Let's see. And I checked the events, and so $125 PTQ. I'm like, there's no way I play $120 PTQ. There's no way. Like, 1 slot or 4 slots. Like, it's gonna be a PTQ that's much harder than usual, because there are a lot of the PT players who haven't day 2'd. They want to play the PTQ. So there's gonna be a lot of these players, and it's only like you have to. It's basically you have to top 8 a GP or top 4 a GP. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And someone told me, like, are you playing the Secret Lair Showdown? Like, what is this? Oh, it's like super good value. You should do it. Like, and I check, it's like, okay, so $125 for sign up. Okay, but then you get a promo Fatal Push. I'm like, okay, how much is that worth? And it's like, it's $200. I'm like, what? Yeah, like you sign up for $125, and the first thing you get is a fatal push worth $200. Like, is it for real? Like, is it really what you do? You sign up and you get $80 right away? Yes. Okay, and what do you get? What do you get when you win? So top 8 qualifies for the next day. Top 32, like top 32 plays for Brainstorm, which is worth like $30,000. Okay. And if you make the top 32, you get a promo Ragavan, which is worth at least $3,000. Like, okay, well, that's worth it. At least it doesn't cost anything. It costs minus $80. So okay, so I'll do it. So it's in standard. So I'm not too hot on standard at that point. But I asked Simon. I saw Simon Nielsen, and I asked him like, "Look, is your deck good?" Like, yeah, my deck is awesome. That's the team handshake standard. He's like, "Hey, you should play that. It's great." I'm like, "Okay, well, I have like 6 cards or like 7 cards to find, and I will see how good it is." And man, the difference between this deck and the deck I played the day before, day and night. This deck was so good compared to the previous one. The mana was better. None of the 6-7 drops that changed a lot. Light Up the Night was great with Chandra. It's just a good finisher. Sideboard, Liliana's sideboard was, I don't know how we didn't play that one. I didn't play this Rakdos mid-range. I didn't know these cards were so good. And so I played the tournament. We had 104 players in my flight. The other tournaments were 55 players, 64, and 70 players. And top 8 of each of these tournaments made 3K, which is better value than any tournament I've played in my life. Well, it's already good value because you don't pay anything. You actually get paid to play these events, and then you make 3K if you top 8. So I played a tournament, and I 5-0'd into double ID. Well, maybe like the thing is, if you have to pay the MagicCon entry fee, it's like $100 or something, and then you play the tournament, then and people now should know about it, I guess, because like now it's starting to be known that this thing is insane. Anyway, I 5-0 and I double draw, so I make it, so I get my Ragavan. So at that point, I made more money than anyone on my team who played the PT. That's the Secret Lair Showdown. And the next day, I had to play, so that was on Sunday, I played the finals. And the problem was with this tournament is that, so winner gets Brainstorm with the Giant card, and you get some Secret Lairs as you win, you get another Secret Lair, but the Secret Lair is like, when you lose in top 32, you get one Secret Lair, top 60 you get another Secret Lair, but the difference in price between these Secret Lairs are like $10. Like the first one is 50, the second one is 55, and maybe the last one is 70. So like there's literally like 30K for the winner and nothing for the second place. So you have 31 players that go out with nothing. So I win my round 1, top 16. I win my second round, top 8. I win my third round, top 4. So I get into top 4, and at that point I'm like, look, like we're kind of playing for a lot of money right now. Salimudu. We're kind of playing for a lot of money. Like winner gets like 30K, loser gets nothing. Like in any of the 3 people left, they get nothing. And I was like, look, the giant Brainstorm is probably 11K. So can we like split somehow? And you don't want to split the actual Brainstorm because the winner has to sell it, and then like with taxes, like let's say he sells it for $40K. How is he gonna give $10,000 to everybody? That's not happening. That's never happening. And we have to trust the guy who wins, and that's too much of a problem. Also, and you can't talk about anything outside. You cannot split anything that's not part of the prize. So the alternative was like, look, I have something. How about if you win the semis, you give away your Ragavan? Yeah, it's illegal. You cannot do that. You cannot split something that's not part of the prize. So basically, this is just one brainstorm, and that's it. And if you see, like it says in the paper they gave us, it said, like, we will not, like, what to say? Prize splits. Pastimes will not be facilitating prize splits. Players will receive prizes based on their final standings. What players do with their prizes after that point is up to the players. So what I offered was, look, if you win your semis, you're already making, like, you already get like brainstorm in a giant size brainstorm. You give away your Ragavan to the loser, so at least they make 6K or something. And then the winner takes the small brainstorms worth 30K and gives away the giant size brainstorm to the finalists. So I talked to the judge, like, is that possible? The judge like, I think so. Let's check just in case. So they talk to the organizers and say, no, it's not possible because the Ragavan has already been awarded, and it's not part of the prizes anymore. So it should not be in the splits. So alright, so you can't split then. And so I play my semis. I win game 1. I'm winning game 2. I'm so far ahead. I have like I'm ahead on the board. My opponent has nothing. It has like 2 cards in hand, and I just need my 5th land to play one of my Invoke Despairs in hand, and I'm done. I have 2 Bankbusters in play. I mean, this is a matter of time. This is without knowing that I would never actually draw my 5th land. It took me 8 draws to find my 5th land. 8 draws. Like, I drew, no, discard 2 Fable, no land. Draw 2 cards from Bankbusters, no land. Next turn, draw with Bankbuster, draw with Bankbuster, no land. So 8 draws without a land, and then that gave my opponent enough time to play their own Invoke and come back in this game. And I had like, at some point I had to discard to hand size with Chandra quad Invokes in my hand when I was stuck with 4 lands. I lose that game, and then I mulligan into losing game 3. So then I have to say I was a little gutted because I had won like three of my matches. I was so close, but then so far, because then I lost. So so I get out of this tournament with like same prize as top 32, which kind of sucks since I top 4'd. And you know, you kind of feel bad about it. And then there's something that Tripudi, that's where it comes. That's where the thing comes. So then I ran into Javier. Javier just top 8'd. He lost in the quarters. Like, hey Javier, what's up? Good job on your top 8. He's like, oh, and good job on your top 4. Oh, it sucks that you lost there. Like, yeah, I know. And that was like so heartbreaking. And then Javier said something that I think that was like the most awesome thing I heard the whole weekend. So I told him, like, look, I was so close, and like, it really sucks. And I was maybe like 85, maybe 90% favorite in that game. And then I lost. It sucks. And he goes, but you've been there before. You know how it is. Like, you can't always win, but also, like, winning or losing, you gotta play that game. That's what we play for. We play the game to play these high-stake games and be in a position where you can actually win. You've won before. I've won before, but you've also lost. But you gotta play these games. You got to play the high-stakes games. and winning them makes it worth it. But you know you gotta lose them too, and that's what makes it so awesome. And I was like, shit, you're right. Shit, you're so right. Yeah, I lost in the semis. I played my best, and I lost, but I actually got to play the semis. I got to play for the big prize, and when I started the day, I wasn't there, and I still had to win 3 matches to be there, and I got there, and I didn't win my 5 matches, but I still got to win 3 and got to play for the big prize and live with the adrenaline and live these and try to get there and play on the big stage. And yeah, you're right. And then that kind of cheered me up. And I did not expect any word that would cheer me up. I did not think that would actually be possible. But it was. And that's so I'll keep that in mind for a while, and I think you should keep that in mind too. If you lose a big match, and you did your best, even if you didn't do your best, like, I hate the you win or you learn. Fuck that. You don't learn. When you kind of learn, but it's too late. You should have learned before. But you gotta play it. You got to play the game that could have got you there. And these are words of wisdom. Constantly learning is fine, but having fun and living your game, that's most important. That's more important. So yeah, that was a good lesson. That was a good lesson, and that was that interaction that changed my day. So after all, I finished my tournament. We talked, but still I was kind of gutted. I was like, fuck, like we couldn't split. I end up with the same as losing just the finals, Like you get to the finals, like, okay, now it's all or nothing, and it's nothing. And like, I'm not anywhere further than I was, like at the beginning of the day. Like nothing happened. You just lost, and there's no going forward from then in that tournament. But at the end of the day, I made enough. I made enough money to make it worth it. No, I didn't get any qualification. I got the Ragavan that's worth like 3 or 4K. So this plus the 1,000 from the PT plus the Jace, it made it worth it. Like I didn't go for nothing. I didn't lose money. My prep was actually worth it in the end. So all my preparation for the PT paid off everywhere but at the PT. So I didn't actually waste my time, which was I think a good thing. Yeah, and I went home and I have everything downstairs, and I'll sell them when they go up. I think I'll sell the Ragavan when they go up. One of the things I get from that weekend is that, man, I played well, and that's something that's kind of reassuring. So for the last couple of months, there were days where I played like shit. Like the last arena draft, that was horrible. Like I looked at my games like, geez, what the hell have I done? What did I do? That was terrible. Yeah, they will go up. I didn't sell anything. I kept them all. I didn't want to sell them for USD. I wanted euros. I didn't want to like carry like 3K something in my pocket. I know I can sell them for the same price here right now. So I'll wait for a little bit. So for the last couple of months, yeah, I told you, I was not feeling good about my play. I was like, man, when I'm focused, I play well. When I'm not focused, I can't do anything. Like, but last weekend, I felt good. Even if I lost my games, if I went 1-5 at the PT, I felt good. As in, I could see everything that was going on. I could find the lines. I could focus. I could do my stuff. During the showdown, I went 9-0 before losing my first match. So, what was it, 9-0? Oh, 8-0. 32, 16, 8. Yeah, 9-0. I went 9-0 before losing my first match. And every one of these matches, I felt like I had the edge because I was playing better. And that felt so good. I hadn't felt like this in a very long time. And that gives me a lot of confidence. That gives me like the will to go on and to play these tournaments again. And it's not like I'm going to grind to qualify for Barcelona. I'm not currently qualified for PT Barcelona, maybe this weekend. I don't think I'm going to Athens, but next year, next season, I'll maybe try a little harder, or maybe I'll do these tournaments online, more of these tournaments online. Question: how difficult is it for you to figure out the reason you lose focus? Oh, I know this one. I know the answer to this. I did not play 4 hours a day for a month, no. But that wasn't like how much standard I played. I think day one of the PT taught me more than almost anything else during my prep. My prep allowed me to figure out which decks I should not play and which strategies were not good. When I played the PT, I knew that the deck I played was not good enough, and I knew that the Handshake team had found a good deck. I knew this. So when I played the secret Lair Showdown, I was like, this is the deck I have to play. And with that in mind, knowing your deck is gonna perform, you're already a better mindset, and you know that you're gonna do a little better. As for do I know why I lose focus? Yes, I know. It's just a matter of how much you have on your mind, and in my mind, in that case, and how much rest I got before. I know this. Like the more rest I get, the better I play. The less rested, the more I have on my mind, the less I can focus. Is there ever a reality check moment when you go from playing arena or whatever and then go to the pro tour? So the thing is, I haven't played like the last tournaments I've played in real life. I haven't played so much like in the last 4 years. It's hard to do different because I missed Philly, and Sofia was not ready. Sofia I just went because it was kind of free. But it was hard, like getting cards in my hand and trying to think from the computer to the paper, remembering about the triggers and everything. I thought it would be complicated, but it was not that hard. I was really scared of that. I was really scared of all the triggers, of all the things, but once I got in the zone, everything came back pretty quickly. I was actually surprised because the first couple of games that I played at the apartment with everybody else during the practice drafts, like, man, I forgot this. Oh, the canners, the tokens. But then at the PT, I was like, phew. I could see that. So all in all, I got back home yesterday, and I felt good. I sucked at the PT. I didn't qualify for Barcelona, but I got some money in the bank. I got some stuff to sell. I feel good about my Magic. I felt like, I don't know, like I met a lot of people there that I had never seen before. It's like, oh, Raph, like I've been following you for years, and thank you for what you do. And it's heartwarming. Oh, Raph, you're my hero, and I played your deck back in 2007. And I don't know, you don't see that every day, especially in the last few years, because we had so little social interaction except on the stream and on Twitter. But Is it real interaction? Is it real life? So when we're buying and the market felt healthy. It felt so, yeah. I mean, there were so many. That event was. This is the first. I think this is the first time I see something like this. Like, if you've ever been to Gen Con, it's a Gen Con, but just for Magic. That was so many players. So many players, so many people. That was crazy. Like, that was a whole tournament hall for side events, like much bigger than usual Pro Tours. That's not what I'm saying. I know you guys, but you guys are, like, I know you guys. There are people I didn't know. There are people who don't come to the stream. There are people like who don't know, who don't talk to me every day, or like every second day or whatever. The future Pro Tours may look like Minneapolis. Sounds like it was a positive with a turnout for the Magic only event. Probably. I mean, there were so many people. There were so many people. It like the puzzle is hard. Okay, I'll get to the puzzle in a minute when I'm done with this recap. So one thing I kind of disliked is like the importance of the PT. The importance of the PT. The PT is not as important to anyone anymore, and they had this huge hole just for the PT, but it felt more like a side event than anything else, because like just knowing that there was this side event that was more EV than the actual PT. And like, yeah, my teammates, they made day 2 and they're like, man, at 4-4 we should have dropped and played the tournament. So basically, if you want to go all in, you only have 16 damage. So the way you do it is you play Thrill Seeker on the Escort. You Bruiser the Escort, so it becomes a 7/5 trample and attack with all. There's only one possible block, because anything else he does, if it's not this exact block, he's dead. So he has to block 1 each. Then he takes 5 trample, and if I sack all my dudes, that would be 5 plus 7 plus 1 plus 3, which is exactly 16 when he's on 17. So that doesn't work. However, since it jumped with everybody, I can sack the Escort to kill one of the flyers and sack the other 2 Thrill Seekers to kill the other flyer. So that leaves me with the Bruiser, him with nothing. And then I can attack with Bruiser like Vigilance next turn for 5 damage and finish the game. So any other play does not work. Like if I pump this guy, he can just triple block this Thrill Seeker and take 6 plus 5. If he triples block the Escort, he's dead, because he takes 6 here plus 7 because a sack to the face. So 6 plus 7, that's 13, plus 1 from the Thrill Seeker, 14 plus 3 from this one, so that's 17. That would be lethal. So I did what? So he took 5, and I cleared the board. No, I didn't get a creature back because. So what happened was, I did exactly that. You can sack it. So I pumped the Escort, attack with all. He chumped all of them. Damage resolve. End of combat. The bruiser triggers. Then I can sack it in response, so it doesn't come to my hand, and I get to kill the squadron. And then I can sack the other 2 to kill the other squadron. So he's on 12 and I have this one back. This one at the end of the attack. I was pretty proud of this, but then he drew Tetsuko and I was on 1 and I didn't draw a removal and I died. Yes, that's what happened. And that was kind of a heartbreaker, I'm not gonna lie. After that happened, I was like, man, it took me, like, I didn't figure it out right away. I figured out as I was doing it, because in 1 minute, there's too many things to think of. Like, we've been on it for like 10 minutes already, and I don't know if anybody like figured out like, oh, this is what happened, this, and finished. Like, you figure out that this is gonna be the most damage, this is gonna be the most damage, and as he was blocking, I was like, okay, this is gonna be lethal if he doesn't block properly. And if he blocks properly, then I probably try to do something else, and I figured out, oh, I can kill the flyers now. I did not, to be honest, I did not figure it out as like right away. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I figured out as I was doing it. I was like, okay, this is most likely the best play. This is most likely the best play. It turned out to be the best play. It was not enough. I lost the game anyway, but I thought that was still a pretty sick sequence. You judge it. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it's also a cool puzzle. It's not often that you get something like a situation like this where it looks simple. There are not too many cards, but enough to, have a little brain teaser.